What are you laughing at?
No, just Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a tweet is like, hey, watching Robert Pattinson turn a man's face into a tweet is like, hey, trailer. This is me. I don't know if I can show it to you.
Oh, that's awesome.
This guy, why just yelling?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's just funny. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna just start the. I guess we'll start the stream now.
Yep.
All right. So we should be live. And
right.
Welcome everybody to a very special Fandome stream. And we got, the usual PBG. Well, not the usual. We got the two DC fans, the major DC fans here in the
Hey!
video.
Let's play a game, just you and me.
Hold on a second. My name is Ernest, aka Ruckus on Xbox Live and everything else, and we got
Gabe, Nika Metroid.
Yep.
And Glenn, Leafs in 6.
The two DC fans.
Residents.
The main DC fans. All right. I love it all.
A DC
these
apologist
guys,
that you called us for like a lot of years.
I never said that. I never said that. I was Yasser. I never said that. I never called you apologists. All right. I'm in the same boat. I love all of them. But yes. So today was the DC Fandome, and right now it's on a loop, right? Like this is from the beginning of the fandom,
so
right?
I think now it's playing a loop for like Asia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess because it was in the middle of their night, so it's kind of starting for them during the day type right now. So
yeah,
it is a loop. Everything we've seen is replaying again, but like for Australia and stuff like that, I think it's playing again, right?
Okay, so what you're saying is that it was a lie. It wasn't 24 hours.
It's a 24-hour loop.
It's a loop.
24. It's not 24 hours full of brand new content.
I thought it was going to be 24 hours full of content. I thought it was. To be
honest, in reality, it kind of is if you were to watch the other stuff, the other universes, other islands, whatever you call them.
So how do you get to those islands?
So I was wondering that too.
So the event has been split into 2 days. So it's just today, and then whatever was going to be on the other channels is in September.
Okay, because I had like some of my comic stuff. Like I signed up to see the 3 Jokers, Warren the Joker.
Oh, I want to see
stuff
that.
Like that, and I was like, okay, how do I find that stuff? Like, how do I go on my schedule to find some of the other stuff I signed up for? So all that is kind of in September, right?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think it was just the Halls of Heroes today.
That's what it seemed like, right?
Yeah.
So tomorrow there's more?
Tomorrow? No, not tomorrow.
September.
Next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yo, Gabe, you're disappearing in your own background. It's awesome.
You're
turning into Batman.
Turning
into Batman a little bit.
Yeah.
So so what are we talking about first, man? What do you guys want to talk about first? Because there's a lot that we gotta cover today.
I mean, we can go backwards. We can start with what just showed.
I don't think we want to talk about that.
I'll go. Gabe can go. Gabe can take the floor first.
Take the floor. Okay, cool. I'll start off with this. I thought this is sort of like the first time an event like this has been ever happened. Give it. Games, movies, comics. What you take it. So we've obviously have lost this year, like everything related to Comic-Con, San Diego, and I think DC stepped to the plate and they delivered an amazing event. In my estimations, like it was essentially from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. full of content. There was constantly something on that stream.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a couple of slow moments that didn't really hit, but man, I feel like we got a lot more than I was anticipating. I don't know about how you guys feel.
You know what? I thought that I missed the whole fucking thing, to be honest with you. I was like, I was fixing my computer the whole freaking day, so I missed half of the stuff. But I did get to watch the good stuff. They were all good. There was a lot of good stuff I missed. I rewatched it, so it's awesome. But yeah, I got to watch the Matt Reeves and the Suicide Squad game live, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, you're right. It was like it's never been done before, which is kind of cool, right? Like You think this would have been done if it wasn't for the C-19?
Yeah, no, I'll probably not. Actually, my bad. It has been done, right? San Diego did do something, right?
But it's
I
not
just didn't tune in.
not like this.
Not like they tried, but this was just very well thought out and delivered, I think.
Yep.
Like you said, San Diego tried to do something like that. Hey, and kudos, they tried, right? You can't take it, but I think it's a lot easier when these guys control all of it versus, San Diego had I got to grab that live stream. Where theirs is all, hey, we can, kind of a production. We can set this all out and play it all out. It played really well. I mean, for us, it felt like just a giant Hall H day. If you want to go San Diego with the amount of reveals, which we kind of knew with the announcements of what was going to be shown today. But this was a huge day for DC and I guess Warner Brothers.
And it shows they're trending on Twitter on everything
all day, right?
All day,
all day, and especially coming off it's been called the DC bloodbath. So I think with the firing of all the vice presidents and stuff like that. So this was like, and again, you're sorry to hear people lose their jobs and stuff like that. But as bad as it was last week, it's such a high for them right now. So yeah. Cool. It was a great event, and it was just, as a DC fan, it was like, man, it was kind of like it kept topping and topping. I was like, okay, this is where it'll go, and they ending it with the Batman, and I'm sure as we'll talk about with 20, as Matt Reeves said, they've only completed 25% of the film due to the shutdown.
That's insane to me, man.
And with the trailer, a teaser, I guess we'll call it a teaser. That's what they're calling it online.
Biggest teaser I've ever seen. Longest teaser I've ever seen.
Dude, I've seen teasers, and I'm like, okay, this felt like a trailer. Do you know what I mean? I was like, wow, this was crazy and really hyped. I mean, obviously, you could tell it was all within the same scenes with the people they showed and stuff like that. So you could tell it's very much the beginning of the film, obviously. But man, it's gritty. Well, like Matt Reeves said, it's a gritty. Like all of DC, a very grounded, gritty film. So,
and this also tends to show how different. Like when they started leaking the images of the suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked cool, but there was aspects of it that looked a little off, right? But it just showed again, and people keep forgetting this, including myself, that like what leaks and what is on film and how they light it, and how they set up the cameras. It's like night and day. I mean, to me, looking at that suit, like right here,
the suit looked amazing.
This looks spectacular, dude.
Yeah, like seeing it and again, it's very awesome. Like to see it in action, to see again, I'm sure everyone is seeing the trailer, and we might have it being looped eventually. I know you have the DC stream running, so if you're on with us for like the next 10 hours, we could talk for the last 10 hours. We'll see the trailer, but
I'm showing the trailer now. If you want to.
Nice. So. Okay, yeah. So. His how do I do that? Hang on a second. All right, his like the fluidity of how he's moving is just so. When you go from Keaton to his fluidity of movement is just incredible. Like, and again, they talked about it like building the costume and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome. Really awesome.
It is. So it's year 2, but what I was really surprised is that Batman's already integrated into where he actually can walk into the scene and check out what's happening and discuss it with the cops. I mean, that's
this part is fucking insane.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Batman. I'm just here. Who are you? The guy we've been hunting for a year? Yeah.
That was
so now that's that's okay. It was again, I liked it. I love even it's those weird subtle things to those people who put trailers together, like just that sound of duct tape. You're like, okay, at first I'm like, he's like, I thought when the logo is, when the logo page is running, you hear like
taping up his equipment or something, or
I thought, okay, we're gonna see him taping up his, his outfit, and to flip it, and it looks like that's probably gonna be the Riddler. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, that's messed up, like how he looks and everything like that. I'm like, that's pretty awesome. So I like that.
Ernest, what
did I think about the trailer?
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome, dude. Like I honestly, I didn't have a problem with his suit when they showed it, like when they first showed it and they leaked it. I thought it looked awesome. Like I always thought it looked like an amazing version of the suit. But then seeing it like now in action and stuff, yeah, it killed it, man.
And his voice, his voice sounds good too.
Yeah, and I thought I was gonna have an issue with like maybe the recasting of Gordon and all that stuff. I mean, not that I was gonna have a huge issue with it. Just I we're used to the characters we're used to, but everything looked fine, man. Like I'm down. I want to see what Riddler looks like. Like I just want to see what he looks like, and. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be like question marks all over his body and Jim Carrey. Like,
they're definitely going for. Matt Reeves said they're going for like the early stages of these characters, right? So very grounded this movie so far. What we've seen.
Like, was Riddler that character in the beginning that was like taping the guy up? Because he looked like he didn't. Well, he looked like just a bad guy, but he didn't look like the Riddler like I would expect.
No,
yeah.
And I think we're not going to see like kind of that. Maybe there'll be a tinge of green or something like that. I don't think you're going to see the exuberant like costumes of it. But yeah, like I think it's just kind of his thing where he's leaving all those cards like throughout the trailer. It's like a card. Hey, this is addressed to you kind of thing. So
yeah,
I think everything seems like he kept saying it's going to be realistic. So other than probably Batman being in a costume that protects him from all this stuff, I think he'll just not. I don't think he'll come out in like an exuberant kind of, look
like
at
a
me,
crazy costume.
No. Not at least not for this year too.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it. Yeah.
And as Gabe said earlier, like you break it down, kind of going to the Joker, right? Like he didn't really, as much as he wore bright colors, it didn't come off feeling like they were super. You know what I mean? Until kind of the end, and even then,
it was toned down
somehow. Blended, like it didn't feel extreme where others, where you go back to things that they feel more extreme. I think it's going to be very low key. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think so too. I mean, it would look ridiculous in this version of the movie where he's wearing like green tights and he's got he's dancing around like a fucking it'd be fucking stupid. But yeah, like I think even I mean I wouldn't mind if he just had like a one question mark. It was wearing a trench coat. I'm fine with that. Whatever, right? Like it doesn't have to be crazy, but I think it would look really cool. And why did he look so tired in that shot?
And Penguin looks awesome. Do you see Penguin? They actually
was that Penguin?
Like a brief second. Yeah,
that was him. Oh,
that was him under all that makeup and stuff. They made him like the fat version we know.
That's that's Colin. No, not Farrell. Colin Farrell. Yeah.
Doesn't look like him at all.
I did not even recognize him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be. Yeah, it's again when he was talking, and we know we've gone about when Matt Reeves was talking. He's like, oh, it's it's the rogues it's the rogues origin story and stuff like that. And even then I was like, oh, like really? Like, but now watching, I'm like, okay, I'm down. I'm like,
so that was Penguin in the car where he's like, this guy's crazy. That's fucking awesome, dude.
We saw Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Like the beginnings of Selena Kyle. I mean, the little you see, it's cool.
That's cool
and again,
too.
I like how it's subtle. Like she's wearing a toque, but she had kind of like two little puffs there, so you can kind of get that, it's that subtle hint of what it's going to be and stuff like that, which is cool.
That's cool.
I like it. Yeah, it's really, it's surprising because as crazy as it is, I didn't think, again, I know it's 25% and a very small teaser, which looks like the beginning, but it's weird because I didn't think the movie was going to go that way, if that makes sense, based on kind of what I thought in my head. Now looking at it, I have an idea of the aesthetics of
what it's going to be. Yeah.
Of what it's kind of going to be.
And the tone
I
of
like it.
The tone is.
Yeah. It's
perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's perfect. Coming off right now, well, we'll talk about Justice League. It's like we got that Batman.
Yeah.
But now this is like a different take, and I'm down for it.
It definitely looks more gothic, like a gothic, Batman, not like the Chicago, the Chicago Batman we got over at Dark
Nolan.
Knight and all that, but Nolan. But it's this looks more like real stylized sort of dark Batman. Like I love it.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that this one shot less, but showed more finished product than Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Even though I thought that what they showed of Suicide Squad was great.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't get a trailer, dude. I'm surprised we didn't get a trailer.
Yeah, so am I.
Well, I guess it's just different. You know, it's kind of filmmakers are different. Right? Like maybe they really want to push the trailer first, and I see Suicide Squad kind of did that weird, you know, Star Wars feel, right? Like during Star Wars, they'd always release these behind the scene style trailers, right? Kind of thing. So I kind of feel that's what they did, and they probably want to save the trailer pop for later on. Again, they most likely knew that there'd be like the Batman thing, so like, no, we'll hold off our kind of. Do you know what I mean? Maybe
no, right.
Yeah,
right. But I mean, just since we're there,
yeah,
another great panel. Like what the theme that I'm seeing for a lot of these movies is that the directors are very in tune of with the characters, the comics, the background, the history. I mean, they could be all acting it up, but they look very excited and invested into the movies that they're creating, which is awesome. No. You don't always get that, even though you think you would.
You talk about Suicide Squad?
Director, yeah. James Gunn, like he seems to know his stuff, and the cast that he finally unveiled the cast, which was mostly what we thought it was, right? With the exception of 2 or 3 characters.
Yeah.
But man, he's promising like a very action-heavy, bombastic movie. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm playing the trailer right now, and I just got a glimpse of Polka Dot Man. It's freaking hilarious. But yeah, it's good, man.
Well, like, again, I can't wait. And to touch back onto the Matt Reeves Batman, earlier in the day, there was the panel, which was the Multiversity 101, where Walter Hamada, who's kind of in charge, I guess, of DC film.
Yeah, Hamada.
Yeah. So he also confirmed during his talk that that, you know, the Matt Reeves Batman is its own universe.
Yep.
Which we know. And not only that, he also confirmed earlier in the day that HBO Max wants to tell, well, they say stories, so I guess little movies or something in Matt Reeves' Gotham City. So I mean, that's already pretty crazy that they've already, with this, they're really now with the HBO Max kind of, or I guess you should call it the Warner Brothers, AT&T, whatever, that whole entire partnership.
Warner's Media, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, they're really, I think that's what they're going to do. And again, we all know, as you know, people who watch those shows, like with the Flash, Arrow, how they brought all that together. And again, I know it's got to be talked about because it's what it is that, you know, Marvel's kind of had a big jump start on making that big, huge universe. And we've always said through all of our older podcasts and everything, the one thing DC always had in its back pocket is its multiversity, where everybody can be from a different world and stuff like that. So I think they're going to build towards that, which again would lead us into the Flash movie, which also was talked about. I'm still skeptical on if the Flash movie will get made. I know it's on its like fourth director, third screenplay. Like that movie's been, you know, it's supposed to come out in 2018 or 17 or something.
Yeah,
original.
Yeah. They've gone through about 3 directors.
They've gone through some issues. They revealed that Ezra Miller's new Flash costume, which, you know, Batman designed and stuff like that. I think the earlier screen or whatever you call it, the artist design had Michael Keaton's Batman standing in the background and stuff like that. So you can go with this multiversity angle and really, and it's in a weird way, I guess, to the average fan, if they can get through and make that Flashpoint movie, they're making it okay that you can have all these different properties because they technically are these different movies because they all happen on different worlds, right? Where, again, people are excited, you know, and we are too, that, you know, we love that all the Marvel movies end up connecting to one giant thing. But now I like what Walter Hamada was kind of talking about. You can now have all these properties, and each little, like the Batman will be its own, you know, Earth 21, and then, you know, Berlanti's CW universe is like Earth, you know what I mean? Like, but I like, so they can take everything and build it. And even though we had a Crisis TV show, I would not be surprised if DC secretly is going to build towards a huge movie to be a Crisis movie, or maybe call it Infinite Crisis and do something like that. But I think today, for the DC, like us DC fans and stuff like that, I think it really showed how DC can kind of build the same
It's unified. To me, it's unified. It's a unified vision.
It is. It's still attached, as everybody thinks. As it's all started out. Yes, we had the Snyder building everything, and then we went to the Joker, and like, oh, it's nothing, and then now finding out Matt Reeves has nothing. We're like, oh, it's not this, it's not connected. But I like the confirmation today that, hey, but we understand the multiverse is our strength, and we're going to use it. So I was really excited to hear Walter Rabeda.
To get that confirmation. I've always said that. Like, I always like the something that differs between Marvel and DC, and I've always said it too, is that yes, you get your benefits of Marvel, where like you get these like grand long stories where you get to plan and interject different characters and that will later show up in different movies, and that's really cool. But I also felt like creatively it must be a little tough. Well, obviously it's hard to pull off, right? Which Marvel did successfully, but it also at the same time, I feel limits the creative teams that come on to really do what they really want, right? Like it almost feels like they come in, it's already like half of it is probably like written down, like in, what I mean, like a game plan, and they just come out and just roll it out. Yeah. And this way, I like what DC's doing is tackling this. Okay, if someone's going to approach us and have an amazing story to tell, we're going to listen to you, and if it makes sense, we'll do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to tie to anything in any particular reason, because it's just in other worlds, right? So I like that.
Yeah, and that's and again, that is kind of what we like, and it's really interesting because I said watching everything today. Again, I've always been the little biased towards DC, right. So it'd be kind of fun to, once
a little biased. A little bit?
Yeah. And again, I like both. I like DC and Marvel, but yes, I'll go a little bit more towards DC. But I'm very interested in what Marvel people would be discussing about today. I'm sure some of them will watch to be like, oh, hang on a second, what they're building is really cool and totally different. So you do have these two, comic properties, and they actually do have visions of building two different things, which is really fun.
Yeah. I mean,
Ernest. Yeah.
What was it? What?
No, sorry, no.
No, I was gonna say, like, dude, I'm watching the trailer for Gotham Knights. What do you guys think about that, man? Like, a part of me is like, I still want to play Batman, dude. So, I want it to be a Batman-centric game where he's fighting the Court of Owls and, and the mystery of that and all that, him discovering them. And I wanted to have that game. But it sounds like this game is going to be basically after, he's already found them out, and he basically ends up getting killed, I guess, and then.
Well, technically, at the end, and at
killed,
the end of,
yeah.
Well, at the end of Arkham City, was that the last one?
Arkham Knight.
No, Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight.
Doesn't he get blown up? Doesn't he technically get blown up at the end of Arkham Knight?
He does, yeah, he does. But then there's like that ending where it alludes that he's using the fear gas, and he's still Batman doing his thing.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
But I don't know if this is a continuation, but it could.
No.
Because but yeah,
they actually came out and said that no, their take on their game is sort of like a slightly different universe, but it's not in continuation of this one that we just saw. Justice League
is an Arkham thing.
Suicide Squad is in that realm.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one is basically they didn't name it Arkham whatever, so that means it's definitely not part of that.
So it's just a kind of a standalone game, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a way.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Again, I know it's totally different for perhaps somebody I'm not trying to exclude you, Ernest, so don't think that. But I'll take someone like me and Gabe, where we've probably read, and you probably have too, so I apologize if I offended here. But me and Gabe have read, Azrael's Batman, Jim Gordon's Batman, Dick Grayson's Batman. So, I forget. There's been so many different people who've done it. So and again, the Bat family is strong. Like, these aren't like, it's not like, oh, who's this character? Like you took 4 other than maybe Red Robin. Like,
yeah.
Dropped off a little bit, but if I get to, and it's different game styles. Like, so if I'm playing as Red Hood, it's going to be more of a shooter versus now if I'm playing as, if I'm going to play as Batgirl, that could be more Batman, Batman style playing. Versus if I go and play as Nightwing or something, right? So I like that option, that it will be different than those games. And I think we, within our chat, have kind of had a little bit of chat on who we think Talion will be. Gabe, if you want to hit that.
No, I totally get Ernest's perspective, and I probably did see a lot of that on Twitter. I was expecting to play as, Batman being the central figure, and I get that too. But I also think like you alluded to, is that the Bat family, that verse is so huge in comics that like all those characters that they showed at some point had their own ongoing series, monthly series, right? Mm-hmm. So and the audience is there.
Three of them still do.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool that they're going to focus on the eventual successors of Batman. Yeah. I think it's a cool little tie. And like I said, the fact that they're bringing the whole the Court of Owls storyline in there, alludes to a possibility of Wayne still showing up.
Because, I can guarantee he probably will, because if not, now that they've said that this is not part of the Arkham games, because I was thinking maybe they kind of try to retcon that ending in Arkham Knight, and that blowing up just meant that he died or whatever. So now that I know that's not it, then yeah, for sure, it sounds more like he's gonna show up at the end or something like that, and opens up sequels, right? Opens up sequels where you can play as Batman and stuff like that, but I want to play Batman now, man. Fuck.
Oh, you did have 3 other games before that, so it's not the end of the world.
Don't give me that Matrick answer, man. Like, hey, you can play the
you could load up, hook up your 360, and
load up the Batman if you want. No, fuck that. No, I want.
Well, sticking to games, I thought it looked great. By the way, that Batman game looked great, right? Yeah. But sticking to games, we got a little taste of next gen gameplay, and that's Suicide Squad.
That was next gen gameplay though, man. That was a CG trailer, dude.
There's moments where I think there's a couple of scenes where like they jump at the end, they kind of gather, and there's a moment where you can tell that the graphics are a little bit
maybe it's in engine. Maybe
an engine, sorry,
but I don't think it's. I mean, I don't know. I hope dude. If it looks that good, because I mean, watching.
It looked like Injustice. Like the character models look pretty close to Injustice, don't you think? Harley Quinn.
Well, the thing is, the facial animations and the acting and stuff. Like when Harley Quinn was, doing the blah 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 whatever. It looked really good. Like I was like, damn, this in her eyes and everything. Everything looked really good. So I hope it is next gen, and I hope it looks that good when you play it, because it looked amazing.
But my point is, like, is Injustice 2, like, is it really that far off the character models if you think about it?
I mean, Injustice is also.
I know it's a two-player, like it's confined space, right?
Yeah, so you could do more with it, right? But with next gen, if it is next gen, and they didn't say anything.
It's there. It's there. The logos. It said Xbox Series S,
X, it's all
and
next
PlayStation 5.
Oh,
and PC.
Sweet.
That's it.
Perfect. Good. Good. Keep it next gen. That's awesome. Yep. So do we know anything about the gameplay though? Like, do we know anything about what the gameplay will be like?
So when they talked about the gameplay, he did say that you can jump from character to character, whoever you want to play with. So if you're playing with Harley, then you can automatically jump, and it's a co-op, so we could all play together.
All 4 of us, eh?
Yeah.
It almost feels like it would be set up as a 4-player game because they showed 4 characters. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of like, for me, it kind of felt like Marvel Ultimate Alliance style, where you can, like, even though I go in, if you've played it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
On a Switch.
Not a Switch, no.
But you have your characters, and at any time you can switch between them, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, I gotta wait. You could just automatically switch.
Or Avengers. It's just the beta that's happening, right? Isn't that a 4-player multiplayer game?
It is 4-player, yeah, but it's also slow as ass, so I can't get into it. But it's you could tell it gets kind of boring. But anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this thing. So, if it is, because I heard it was more like a Destiny type game where it's like that, where it has a little bit of RPG elements, and that's what I read what Rocksteady's doing.
It could be, because I'm so apologetic because I forget who it was who was talking. I guess it was the guy with Rocksteady. He even said the 5th character of the game is Metropolis, where this game takes place.
Okay, well, it's same as what he said about Gotham though, when he was doing the Arkham thing, right? Yeah. He's like, this is gonna be interesting though. It's gonna be interesting to see what the hell happens here. And I heard that Batman's not going to be in the game. I heard that.
No, and he said this is a slight continuation of the Arkham series, right?
Mhm.
He said that, like, this kind
Yeah,
of
in that universe. Yeah, continuation. Yeah, somehow. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that could be interesting on where that goes, right?
Yeah, and apparently, like, from what I've been reading, there's like a leak that they said that Wonder Woman's in it, and and Green Lantern's in it, and so is, well, obviously Superman, and they only get captured, but then certain heroes get killed, and like you can, so it's like, you know, obviously the main guys won't get killed; they're gonna get captured, but like I guess the lesser known Justice Leaguers are gonna be, you know, some of them are gonna be like whacked or whatever.
Okay. Who would you kill?
I don't know. I don't know, but like for example,
Or is it like the worst.
Do you
ever
mean
Justice League assembled?
Yeah. Do you mean maybe just like a lot of playable Suicide Squad members, and they get killed? Maybe.
No. Like because your job is to kill the Justice League. That's what the whole job is. So they're gonna have some members who are gonna get killed.
I see.
But like we don't know who. Like they never mentioned who, but they said that there will be some that will get killed. But then the main guys like Superman and stuff, they can only get captured. You can't kill them.
I see.
And the way you fight them is like a boss in Destiny, or like a main sort of event boss that you would go and fight them together or something like that, right? So it's gonna be fucking weird, but I don't know. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, again, a little bit. It looked like it was just the one scene that they showed, but yeah, it looks really, really fun. Like, again, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool.
I mean, you know, it's new. It's different from Rocksteady, right? Like, it's not the same kind of action. I mean, they've only done Batman games, right? Arkham games, right?
What's the last? What is the last game they put out? Is it
Arkham? Yeah, Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So
It's still in the realm. It's still an action game, third person view type of thing.
They've never done like a co-op though. They've never done a co-op game like that. So this is gonna be interesting to see how they do. But it is next gen, so they can do it. Like there's enough power there for.
It looks. I'll say, you know, when we've seen 2 games today, and the Suicide Squad game looks way better.
Way better.
Oh yeah.
Way better.
Oh yeah.
Because the other one is still on current systems. So.
Yeah. So that one's still gonna be on Xbox and PlayStation 4.
But even I was like, whoa, like, you know, as it started, I was like, whoa, this looks like incredible. I was like, wow, this looks amazing.
It reminded me a little bit of the Xbox game with the guys and the railings and. Sunset Park, not Sunset Park.
Sunset Overdrive?
Sunset Overdrive?
Sunset Overdrive, yeah, because they had like the crowbar and they're like jumping all over the buildings and they're swatting at like these jelly-looking creatures.
Like a Brainiac machine, robots or whatever.
And that was the other thing. I'm like, man, these people who set up trailers, who play these songs in it, and they build up that crescendo, and you can't drop me a chorus. The whole time I'm waiting for, you know, because it's Outcast, right? Like
yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm like, oh my god, when the chorus drops, when he starts going bombs over Baghdad, it's gonna be nuts. And they tease me. Like, oh man, I haven't heard bombs over Baghdad in so long.
It's a teaser though. That's a teaser.
Yeah,
that's
I know. But,
you
know, I mean, there's no way I can. I forget what his name is. Who's singing? I forget
Outcast.
But there's 2 names, right? Who's
Andre 3000.
Yeah, that's it. Andre. Yeah, Andre. And he's going, and he's like, I'm like, oh man, when it hits me, and nothing. They just cut it. I'm like, no, you can't do that. You gotta give me a taste of that chorus. You're building up for me to hear that chorus. Yeah. Then I went and I gotta hear the song. Now I gotta go find the song and listen to it just to get that fix.
They got you.
And back to the Batman trailer, same thing. I'm like, whoa, like, are you kidding me? They're going with Nirvana? Like, that was just so dark. Like, especially to go with, like, you know, one of Cobain's darkest songs, as, you know, that guy's taping up. I'm like, wow, this is just such a tone setter. Like, incredible. Gotta give it to those guys who put trailers together, man.
We got also the whole show started off with Wonder Woman panel, and we got to see trailer number 2.
How is that? I didn't see it.
Solid, not as impactful for me as I thought it was going to be. I don't know about that.
for all of us, we've seen that trailer now for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe 2, because it was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Yes, it's to the point where like, let me just see the movie, right?
Yeah, like I'm like, I've seen the lightning ride 1,000 times, and I mean now, you know, because it was supposed to come out, so
Yeah.
you know, the children's book's out, so at the comic shop, you know, the children's book's there, and grabbed it, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll put it down, I'll wait. But you know what I mean? So yeah, it's tough to kind of get excited. Hey, kudos to DC, because they pushed that Wonder Woman movie throughout the whole day. Like anytime there was a break, there would be like some weird Wonder Woman kind of montage or game, or hey, we're gonna talk about this or that. I'm like
a trivia game or some.
You guys are just trying to keep it relevant. You know what I mean? It's kind of like not relevant, but you know what I mean? Like keep it in the forefront. Like, hey, remember,
not tiresome. Yeah.
That
they showed Cheetah. They showed Cheetah.
Yeah,
though.
we did see
in
Cheetah
the trailer or just a photo?
In the trailer. In the trailer.
Okay, good.
In the trailer.
How does she?
I'll say this much:
cats?
I got a little. No, not necessarily cats. I got a little like Black Panther vibe, like in some of the animation.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
You'll see.
I didn't get a cat's feel. I got a cheetah feel.
No, it looked good. It looked good.
All right, take it easy. It was a joke. All right, it was a joke.
No, there's a joke and there's insulting Wonder Woman.
all right. I gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I saw a still, and it looked pretty cool. Like she looked pretty cool. Yeah. And she was doing that superhero stance, you know. Yeah.
And the build up to Kristen Wiig's character Minerva, there, it looks like she's wearing, you know, she's normal and kind of not fluttery, but you know, a little everywhere. And then all of a sudden she looks like she comes to
put together
a little bit more dressed, but she's wearing cheetah clothes. And throughout that trailer, you see a nice little progression of her turning in kind of to cheetah, which I thought was kind of cool. Like it's, you know, from, hey, my hair's a mess, glasses, carrying books, to like, hey, look, I'm at the party all done. I'm like, whoa, you see this really cool progression of her kind of really getting to that final fight scene.
Like she wants to be Diana, I think, in the
essentially,
right? That's her wish or something. She wants to be like
kind
her.
of what they're talking about in the trailer and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's tough because, you know, they decided to, hey, we want to pull the movie and go against Black Widow. Like this, it's weird because this movie would already almost be on home video, or would most likely be on your streaming service, or, you know, on Blu-ray by now, which is crazy, right?
Why can't they just let it out on HBO Max, dude? Like,
I mean, there's still really, again, there's a lot of big, like, you know, and again, I think they owe it to theaters to get theater owners. You know, this is a big money thing.
You don't want to mess up the relationships.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off the theater owners, right? Like, hey, and I think we kind of seen that a little bit with Disney's Mulan, where a lot of theater owners are kind of like, hey, this was going to be, you know, there's certain money makers for us, right? And again, they're struggling.
Well, the big test is going to be Tenet. It opens up
Wednesday,
already.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday. So even
whoever goes,
Well, I know at the one here, it's sold out for 3 days already. But again, it's limited space, right? So you're not looking at you're putting less people in theaters. I don't know rest of the world. Like, I'm not too sure how
they're doing it.
America's doing it. Like, hey, our theaters.
Are you kidding? It's a regular theater night for them. It's like, whatever.
Is it a regular theater?
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't think they have like anything going on.
Every drink, every popcorn, supersized. You know it.
You know it. That's it.
And again, even throughout Canada, I don't know what the rules are. I only know what the rules are here in our city, and it's 25 for people listening who may not be from here. It's 25 people per screen are only allowed to be in a theater right now. So I mean, that's crazy, especially for a movie like Tenet that I think is going to run 3 hours. Again, you have to, you know, you're like, okay, 25 people get to watch that movie all spaced out. You have to get your tickets, no cash,
wearing masks.
Everything has to be done online. So we here in Toronto have a lot of set rules to go to the theater and stuff like that. So I think Tenet will be a very interesting, how the money goes for Tenet. It'll be a very interesting to follow how Tenet works, because that's going to be a big movie. And I think the reviews are kind of, you know, it's Nolan, so the reviews are like, hey, we like it, it's good. So
Again, if the movie struggles, maybe that puts pressure on other studios. Who knows? Like if they're not getting the money, that's not good.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
I'm sure the box
for
office
theaters.
is going to be skewed in some way, right? Like,
well,
obviously, but I mean, like if it's even lower than what they're counting on at bare minimum.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't because
that movie cost $200 million.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't gonna just up and be like, oh, you know what? Like I haven't left my house in 6 months, but this movie, you know, like I don't think anyone's gonna be like, well, this movie's worth it. I'm gonna go and leave the house and worth the risk.
But if
you know,
but right,
so
but
we'll
if he's saying that if it maintains at least at 25 for like if it sells out with those numbers, then you know they're doing their best, right? But the problem is if like you're going to like a Friday, like 2 Fridays from now, you're gonna go see Tenet, and there's only like 4 people in the theater. Like it's horrible, dude.
Yeah, you're done. You're done at that point.
Yeah. And like if a movie that big is not gonna pull in numbers, what's the point of releasing anything else? You know what I mean?
That's and I think these other movies will look. And the other one is New Mutants is also gonna release soon, right? I think within the next few weeks, New Mutant.
Yeah.
So again, there's another movie that they kept putting on a shelf, and then it got shelved itself, right? Kind of funny.
That movie, I can't even believe it's coming
now,
out.
And again, it's questions of movies like Wonder Woman and Black Widow. Now, Tenet is different, I think, because we want to see because we like films.
Yeah.
So do people who there's a Marvel movie, there's a big movie like Wonder Woman, who's not only is it there's so many different demographics that want to enjoy Wonder Woman. So it's very interesting, like what Gabe's saying, if Tenet's, within the 3 weeks, all of a sudden it's not even with a limited amount of people that can go see it. If that starts to drop off, because people are like, oh, it's been 4 weeks, I forgot about it. What happens to the other movies at that point? Do theaters say, or the studios say, okay, you know what, we're not going to.
We'll shut down for like 2 more months or something. I just don't know, because you're paying staff. Like at some point, like where do you make your money? You know what I mean? If only like 5-10 people are showing up to each theater.
Yeah. Well, I think they're making it off Uber Eats because you can order popcorn. That's it. They're like, please order more popcorn.
That freaking sucks, dude.
Yeah.
But I've kind of missed those popcorns, man. I gotta freaking get some. But anyways, yeah, man. That so the DC fandome's only for today.
Yeah.
All right. No more tomorrow. But
I will mention one more thing, because we, in case we skip it. They did show concept art, and The Rock did talk a lot about Black Adam, and it sounds exciting, man. Like the cast, it's essentially Black Adam sort of either teaming up or versus, or
it would be
versus, right? The JSA. So which is cool.
And Shazam is in it.
That's pretty cool. So you have
Adam Smasher,
Hawkman.
Yep. Typhoon.
Cyclone.
Sorry.
Who she's a newer member. She's a newer member of the JSA, and Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
So Dr. Fate, Hawkman, and Adam Smasher are good. Cyclone's like one of the newer members from the JSA.
Okay.
So again, it's really cool. But again, you're like, now we get the JSA on screen. Like, what is going on?
And is that in the same universe or no? Like, is that tie into any sort of universe?
I would imagine it's going to
Shazam.
Shazam, yeah, because
which is also the same
regular,
same universe,
which is also connected to Henry Cavill, because ideally it's Cavill who kind of, and the kids have all that kind of stuff, right, from those people and stuff like that.
Did they say? Sorry, let me interrupt. But did they say anything about Shazam 2 or?
Yes. We think, or we don't think, that Sinbad is going to be in it.
I didn't get that. Like that went over my that whole segment with him. Like, okay, we get it.
Because there was lots of rumors that people. Now, here's what's funny. Everybody thought Sinbad was in Shazam because remember I think it was the 80s or the 90s movie, that Shazam movie, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
But it wasn't Sinbad. It was Shaq.
Yeah, it was Shaq. Yeah.
But people kept saying it was Sinbad. So it's this weird kind of thing where people
ridiculous.
Shaq for Sinbad. Everybody thought Sinbad was in Shazam, but not this Shazam, the old Shazam.
Yeah.
So I did think it was funny that they brought out Sinbad, and even Zachary Levi was like, "Oh, you're in this movie?" Kind of going on all the rumors where everybody, he's like, I don't know, am I? And
That's awesome.
like, is he in the movie? And everyone's like, no one has any clue if he's in the movie.
What about is Cavill gonna be in the movie? Because I heard Superman.
We don't know, but they did announce the title of the movie,
which is cool.
Which is Shazam. It's going to be called not Shazam 2, but just Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Oh shit! Okay.
So that was the title that was.
Black Adam's gonna be there. You know it.
Announced as well. Well, I would imagine they're gonna probably do something like to connect. And again, in the first Shazam, when the Wizard's telling the story, it's that image of the Rock that's tied up and stuff like that, right? Which is almost like that same image in the concept art. If you watch the Black Adam little thing, like they show all the concept art of him in.
Looks awesome. Looks great.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna check it out.
Looks great. Yeah, man, looks good.
So
yeah, that's gonna be insane. Like not just because the Rock himself is such a draw, but you're gonna take the Rock and you're gonna start to build the JSA. So you're gonna have all these Rock fans that will go and they're gonna be, hey, who's this JSA? The fact that we're gonna see Hawkman, like I was like,
and dude, the Rock knows the source. Like he gets the character a lot. So that's what's exciting about it. He's definitely invested into this film. And,
I'm curious about that though. So I'm assuming it's going to be a prequel to Shazam. It's not going to be anything after it.
Because it's the JSA. Because the JSA kind of precedes the Justice League, right?
Yeah.
Like that JSA is kind of like the older kind of stuff that happened before.
So is it period? It's not a period piece, right? It's not going to be like taking place in the 1920s or some shit. Right?
I think it's gonna take place throughout different timelines. Like again. Black Adam is so kind of old, like the gods were, it's kind of like that. I want to say kind of Apocalypse X-Men, gods and stuff like that, where he gets his power. So yeah, I think it's going to go through
multiple. I think it's also it will enter because the concept art had soldiers on the ground. So it is modern day at some point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool, man. Because I want to see more. Like Shazam was one of my favorite DC movies. Like I love that.
Shazam was really
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. Yeah,
it was awesome. And I want to see him fight the Rock. I want to see him fight Black Adam. That'd be really cool. So
yeah, I think might have to wait, but it'll happen. I think it'll happen. Or
wait,
I feel like he hinted heavily at Cavill.
He did though, right?
To me, he talked about it a little too much.
Well, he was supposed to be in the first one as a cameo, but then he couldn't do it because of the mustache. But
I'm talking about Black Adam. Sorry, I'm talking about Black Adam.
Oh,
no.
I just feel like The Rock and him, and since they have the same manager, I feel like they would make something happen.
Black Adam versus Superman, Henry Cavill versus The Rock. That would be an insane movie matchup and movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just thinking of just both those two people as not to sound crazy, as humans, as people, right? Oh man, that that would be an amazing match. Then you put them both in these costumes, and you're like, wow, this is just getting
top physical shape.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, anyways. But yeah, that was essentially it for the main panels.
Suicide Squad. Did you want to hit James Gunn's Suicide Squad?
We kind of talked a little bit about that.
Oh, we didn't even touch the surface.
Yeah, take it easy. All right. That was actually awesome. I was expecting a trailer. I wanted to see a trailer.
I wanted a trailer badly, but they showed a lot though. They showed a lot.
They also released the cast list of what everybody's playing.
Yeah,
which is pretty awesome. Did you want to go through that?
Yeah. I really liked it. I really liked it had a really good. I mean, obviously he did Guardians of the Galaxy, so it has a little bit of a vibe with that, but at the same time, a little bit of the old Suicide Squad movie vibe, like the first one.
Well, I think again another thing, it brings something together. And as throughout the day we're watching all these panels, I think we talked about that group really gets along together.
Yeah, chemistry was through the roof, man. It was so good.
I probably could have watched all of them just be goofy and talk shit to each other all day.
Let's be honest. They talk shit to Michael Rooker. That's all.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
The
obviously,
wig kills me. That wig is so
Yeah,
bad.
it looks stupid, but it's funny. Like I want to see. Yeah,
yeah.
it
But I
looks
mean,
good.
we can start off. I think with the biggest, the biggest going into this, everybody's been trying to guess what he
Actors.
is. What character he's going to be. I'll even say I'm a little disappointed as well. I'm not disappointed, like I'm angry disappointed, just because I really thought something different. I'll go into it right now. So Idris Elba is going to be Bloodsport,
It's just small.
which is cool. And I think Bloodsport introduction was Superman #4, where he actually, kind of shoots Superman. And actually, it was confirmed that Idris Elba will be in jail in the movie for shooting Superman, right? Which is kind of cool. Now, again, there was a lot of rumors about Bronze Tiger, him playing Bronze Tiger, which would have been awesome because Bronze Tiger is one of the original Suicide Squad members. So that would have been
it's a bigger name. Let's get
it is, right? So, but again, then I'm like thinking, well, I guess they just wanted somebody, kind of to be that, how do you say, Will Smith Deadshot character. So they went with Bloodshot. I think that's kind
His
of,
costume looks sick. Do you see his face? His mask?
I mean, I said, I'm not in any way like, oh, this is garbage. A little disappointed because I think, same thing. Like Bronze Tiger, I think would have been cool. And like Gabe said, there's a little bit more name recognition. You would have been, he is a founding member of the Suicide Squad. So
he's in everything. It's comics, cartoons, like Bronze Tiger's.
Yeah, so it would have been cool. But see where it goes. It'll be fun. Obviously Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
Looks spot on, by the way. Spot on.
She looks amazing in this movie. Like she looks better than how she did in the first Suicide Squad. And I mean, I like the way she looked in the first Suicide Squad. But
and
like
she has
looks,
multiple, throughout that little behind the scenes, multiple huge guns, multiple costumes that look awesome.
I like the one where she had the goggles in her
Yes,
head. I was
bazooka?
like, perfect,
I was
dude.
the same. I was like, oh, it just looks like that. Remember Tank Girl?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna just be a fucking chaotic ride.
It looked awesome. That was really cool.
Pete Davidson as Blackguard, who I think dies first.
That's why I had a feeling one of them is gonna be the one, and I looked at him like that's gonna be the one that's gonna get killed first.
And I felt bad because he was last picked
to get picked,
and didn't really do anything. So you're kind of like, I think he dies first because he really doesn't have much interaction with the cast.
Yeah, he was there for like 2 minutes and then he just got left.
That's
right?
kind of like, I don't think he lasts long in this movie. He's the new Slipknot. I think.
Yeah. Like for real, man. Like,
yeah, Sean Gunn, who I like to say is the new Groot, but he'll be Weasel. So that would be kind of. I honestly think. Like we've seen a little bit of Weasel where he's in the jail cell. Once you really CGI that character, I have this huge feeling he's going to kind of be the new Groot. And
he looks cool. He looked good in the CGI, like the trailer in the CGI that he did. Where he was like in the door.
Messed up. Weird, awkward. His eyes and everything. That's cool.
Again, which I think they'll do something great with him, and it'll really be something fun. Again, Jay Courtney's back as Captain Boomerang. First Suicide Squad, he's awesome as Jay Courtney. Yeah. Nathan Fillion's interesting because he's going to be playing in this. His character's called TDK. Now, there's not really much of I don't think there's any character called TDK.
I couldn't find.
Yeah, but when you look at his
costume,
so they release kind of logos for each character, and for TDK's character, he's missing both of his arms. So I'm kind of thinking that he might be a Legion of Superheroes character, which is Armed Fallout Boy.
Or he can't be. You don't think he could be the Dark Knight?
No.
TDK, man. But yeah.
I mean, I think the initials will probably be something, but I kind of have this feeling he's gonna kind of be that character from Legion. And, he can take off his arm and beat people with it. And that just absolutely sounds like something we're going to see, especially from Nathan Fillion, especially in a James Gunn film.
Is a guy who's going to die first, though?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be one of the people that die first.
Yeah, I think he's gone first, too.
Because he's like TDK, and like you said, you Googled him. I didn't know who the hell he was. And I Googled him. I didn't know who. So I think he's one of the guys who are like, okay, well, this guy's also gone. Like,
yeah, but no, I think like it would make sense based on the logos that they put out with each character. I think he's going to be Arm Fall Off Boy. That's who I think he's going to be.
Is that his actual name?
Yes, it's Arm Fall Out Boy. So that's his actual name in Legion. Legion.
Okay. So they just
Then Joel Kinnaman is back. He's playing Rick Flag again. Ernest, are you sitting down? Are you okay?
I'm
Are
good.
you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Daniela, I think Melchor, and she's gonna
Woo!
she's gonna be Rat Catcher too, which I think that's gonna be really cool. That'll be
Looks
fun.
good, man.
Yo, she's gorgeous, dude.
Yeah, she's got the look. Yeah. Then we're gonna have King Shark in it, which looks pretty cool.
The King
Looks cool. It's like
Shark
a, it's like
awesome,
a fat,
dude.
like a fat, like
Like a
retired
friendly,
shark.
a friendly
Yeah, I
guy.
know,
Like,
just-
hey, like
Yeah,
he looks
yeah.
awesome, man. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll look pretty fun.
he reminds me of like the cartoon Harley Quinn cartoon version
Yeah.
of
I think
stuff, you know. Like,
I think that's what they're going with, right? Because he's like that Harley Quinn. And again, they've been designing him way before Harley Quinn, but I'm wondering if they had a little partnership in it because
mhm.
we seen King Shark in I think season 1 or 2 of the Flash TV show, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that looked totally different than what we've seen here. What we've seen in this looks more like the
Goofy.
King Shark in Harley Quinn, right? Like he's
Yeah.
more rounded, not like a. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's goofy. He's a little funny. He
Yeah,
looks like he can
looks
make
more-
he can make jokes and stuff. He looks like you
Yeah.
know friendly
He's
a
like-
little bit.
He looks like he'll be Professor Hulk in this.
Yeah, right. Like it's just weird. I had that vibe too, so I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
The one I'm interested in will be Mei Ling Nai as Mongol. That could be kind of an interesting one. Like, and again, we've seen her kind of in that scene footage where she's shooting with Harley Quinn, so that would be kind of cool.
Mhm.
David Dashmelon, this is it. I like this one as Polka Dot Man. Just
Yeah,
gonna be-
yeah.
His costume again looks spot on. Not much else you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
It looks really, really awesome.
He's one of those guys that like you see him in movies, but you
Mhm.
don't know his real name. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I have seen him
I
in
already
so
forgot
many
his name.
movies. Yeah, I've seen him in so many fucking movies. I just
Yeah.
never know what his actual name is, but he was in Dark Knight. You know,
Yeah.
he was in but he was in Ant-Man, wasn't he? He was one of the guys in Ant-Man. His friends.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And
yeah.
he was like, I mean, he's been everywhere, man. And yeah, this guy is just like, okay, cool, you know.
John Cena as Peacemaker. That's
That
another.
looks good.
Yeah, he looks
He's
good.
another one. I think he's going out early with Pete Davidson.
No,
No, I think he's my.
Cena's there for the long haul, dude.
No, but Bloodsport and Peacemaker are like the same character, right? I think the first group will be Blackguard, him, and I think they're gonna go. I think they're done first. I think they're.
Nah.
I
I don't think you cast John Cena and then just like get rid of him. Like
Yeah, but John Cena will do anything. Hey, John Cena.
Yeah, but I feel like he has potential to be a cool character.
Yeah, because
I
like
don't know.
Pete Davidson, I could see that more, and I could see Nathan Fillion because even
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, even in Guardians of the Galaxy, he was only like a cameo in that movie too.
Yeah, and
right?
again,
So-
some of these people just kind of like, hey, I can be in it to be in it, right? Like I'll
Yeah.
just do a little something and that's it. I don't know. I think again, we've seen a lot, and it's the same people near the end of the film. So I think the people we don't see a lot are like the group that tries to do whatever and fails at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beginning, if that makes sense. But again, I know looking too much into the scenes. Who I think, I guess, is the bad guy is Juan Diego Bato as Luna. This one, I'm hoping he makes it to the end, is Peter Capaldi as the Thinker.
Oh
That-
yeah, he's cool. I like that actor
Dude,
too. So
He's an awesome Flash villain. So
yeah.
I'm like, you get two kind of Boomerang and Thinker. I'm like, wow, that's really awesome. Obviously, Viola Davis as Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much the Suicide Squad cast. And again, there's not a trailer for that as we talked about, but
Which
there is like a
it sucks.
behind the scenes. Here's a couple shots. You know, you can kind of look around and
Yeah.
see some of that stuff. Oh, behind Gabe right now is the poster that just got revealed, which that I think is going to replace the Shazam poster I have here.
What is that?
Poster, that's
poster?
that's the Suicide Squad
Let
movie
me pull
poster.
that up, actually. I'm gonna pull that
Yeah.
up right now and see what it looks like. Oh
I
shoot!
just think his
that was
costume.
cool.
I think his costume is like piece.
Oh, I see it.
Thingamabob looks good. I don't think they just like design a cool costume and it just like, bam, he's out. And look at the placement of the. Not that it matters because this is just a poster for this event, but
Yeah, I got
look at the main guys that are big, are
Yeah.
the more important ones, right?
Yeah,
Rick Flag and
I don't know. I
Harley Quinn.
I don't know. I got what you're saying. I just that's my thought. It's just that he's kind of, he's kind of in it maybe for the first, but I think again, some of their Suicide Squad, some of these, more than half of these guys got to go.
Yeah. And
that's a lot of people. If you look at
those little guys that can barely make out, those are the ones that are gone.
Yeah, for real. Like, there's so many people in this poster. It's like, yeah, the first few are gonna be the ones that survive for sure. Like, I'm kind of worried about Captain Boomerang in the middle there. He's a little far away. But
he's good. He's center. He's center. He's
center.
Good.
You're right.
Center. Yeah.
But Michael Rooker looks like a retired wrestler, dude. Like, it's fucking terrible. But I can't wait, man. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even know who those guys in the back are. Like I don't know if right here. I don't know who this guy is. Who are these guys right here? You can't see him, but like
okay,
behind Harley Quinn and Idris Elba.
Hang on, I'm just gonna look down at my.
There you go, baby. There's the
Rock. Yeah, you're right. I don't even know who those guys are.
Yeah, those guys are definitely. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of them is. One of them has to be Pete Davidson.
And maybe, yeah. Oh, it could be, and then that's TDK.
TDK. Okay.
TDK is that. Then Pete Davidson character is beside him.
Curious, eh? They're both beside each other, and they're both like, I don't know, man.
And then there's Javelin, and then Mongol. Sorry, Amanda Waller running with a shotgun in a suit.
Awesome.
Where is that?
In
the back.
And then
awesome,
Savant. Sorry, I forgot Savant is also in it too. Who's the other guy? Yeah. So it looks pretty crazy. It looks really fun.
Yeah, and I mean, we can trust James Gunn. We already know what he's capable of, so he's 100% he's gonna do a good job. Like I know it. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I think this will be. I think it's gonna be quite a ride. This one. Again, I think it's gonna be bigger, obviously, than Guardians. But again, like everything, I think he said there's more explosions,
more effects.
More effects than, which is weird because when you look, everything looks grounded. Like that on them storming that type of beach type thing or whatever that is. Like it looks more. So it's really interesting when he was talking about, there's more. So I'm like, is that like, blood splattering effects? Is it what there's more? Like,
I'm sure it's a lot of stuff. Like, I just hope they don't have this, like, the same kind of, I'm pretty sure they're not going to do the same plot where it's like, another laser that's going to the sky, they got to stop, right? Like, I'm sure it's going to be something totally different.
think, again, this looks like they're just trying to take over like an army, or I think Luna is probably like
but that's not a strong enough character for a villain. Like, who do you really think is the villain? Like, I'm
wondering too. I'm wondering too.
I think I'm with you kind of. I think it would be Bane because it's in that Brazilian town, and Bane kind of has that.
Oh, that would be sick, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, he was born in South America, and he has that kind of connection to South America.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool if he's like, pulling the strings all the way down there and stuff like that. So it's kind of like you do all this stuff, and then you finally get to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm here to fight you. You know what? It'd be cool if that was like, is it Tom Hardy's Bane? That would be awesome. I think they should put him in there.
That would be funny, right?
Yeah, he's just there.
I thought you wanted to do this. Yeah.
Just get the Bane from the show, like the Harley Quinn show. He's hilarious, guy. Like, well, yeah. Did they do anything new with Harley Quinn, by the way? The show, the TV show.
Q&A. Just I don't remember. I didn't see the whole thing.
They did. Yeah, they did a Q&A. They asked about season 3, and she said
nothing yet.
No information on it. It's up to the executives, and they haven't said anything yet.
Okay.
So.
Not renewed yet, then, eh?
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely. If this was, I'm really surprised that they haven't just. I think it might be okay. Where do we put it? I think that might be their problem because there is no more DCU. Well, eventually
HBO Max. They have HBO Max. It's on there. So.
Well, maybe it could be. It's just really weird. Like if it's, as popular as it's kind of getting a little more popular.
Sorry. So explain that. So there's no more DC Universe Online. They canceled
So ideally, it's been swallowed up by HBO Max. I mean, there's a lot of shows
that. They're all on there.
that are all
the
on
shows,
there.
yeah.
What is still on DC Universe is like the comics. So if you want to go and DC Universe had the comics, right?
Yeah.
Like you can go and read up whatever your comics you want. But again, it's all being swallowed by HBO Max. So I don't think it's long for anything where I think they'll just eventually swallow it all and just it'll no longer exist, or they might keep it just for the comics aspect, which I think they have that whole database on there. I would almost think they should keep it just for comics. Like, hey, you have HBO Max. Oh, by the way, you also have access to this app and you can read whatever comic you want on it. There's been no official. I know people were waiting for this weekend to see if they would make any kind of announcement about it. There was a couple panels, and like Gabe and everything was saying, a lot of it got moved to September. Some of the panels I had in my schedule were, HBO Max, film to HBO Max. I had a couple panels they had of that, which never ended up showing. So it could be with everything that's happening with the layoffs there and stuff like that. They're probably themselves still trying to figure out what do we do with this thing.
So there's another Fandom event
In
September.
Mid-September.
Oh, so
Yeah,
so they did legit split it down the
Yeah,
middle. Okay,
They
wow.
moved about 100 hours worth of footage to September. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it was overkill, like
Yeah.
what they had planned. It was just way too much.
Then maybe they did plan a full
Think about
24-hour
it.
stream.
Yeah, what I mean, like you can die watching a freaking
Yeah,
show.
I know. No sleep. You're just like, oh.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, they're like, we'll keep you for a little bit, but you eventually have to stretch.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
exactly.
and again, it seems to be like we're saying at the beginning, all the Hall of Heroes stuff was filmed, like all my comic stuff that I signed up for, the youth stuff, the kids stuff, that never showed anywhere. So
Yeah.
Which is weird because I signed up for 3 Jokers and the Joker War panels and stuff like that. So I think most of that will be done perhaps when they kind of come out. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Well, I guess
There's one thing we have not talked about, and I know we're running a little long. Zack Snyder's Justice League, baby.
Hey, what? No,
Wait,
we just
what? Who's that? Who's that?
we just
Who?
Who?
we just say. Oh, the other thing we can talk about was if you want to spend a second, because I think me and Gabe were talking about earlier, is they did a surprise panel and kind of brought out Milestone Comics. who had a
Oh.
lot of,
Why did I think you were gonna say Miles Morales? I'm like, what?
no.
Yeah.
Which was like, and again, I remember reading Static Shock and stuff like that. So in January, DC is bringing back the Milestone publications, and they're going to be putting out more comics and stuff like that. And also, they're working on Static movie.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
that would be pretty huge for them. And they did a really good thing of, they literally worked across the street. Jim Lee was over at doing the Image Wildstorm thing, and these guys were doing Wildstorm. So it was a nice little thing, but some pretty cool announcements there from that. Bringing, like I said, that character, he kind of disappeared for a while. And he was huge in the 90s. Like I remember Static Shock being everywhere. So it's really good that they're bringing back the canon of those guys and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but now you can, the granddaddy of them all, pretty much the reason why Fandom happened.
Yeah, really, right? I didn't see the trailer though.
What did you
haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I told you I've been fixing my damn computer the whole day, so I didn't get a chance.
We'll give you literally a minute and a half to watch it.
I
Can we watch
it?
it? You have the audio. You play it on there for the folks. And then
I don't like. I already got a strike from YouTube. That's why I've been looping the games because I tried showing the Suicide Squad movie back the thing, and it gave me a weird warning saying like, oh, you got copyrighted material. I'm like, what? Dude, it's in a small screen, dude. So I don't know if I don't even know if this is gonna be going out or if it's blocked. But we'll see.
Isn't it like 3 strikes you're out?
No,
much?
nothing like that.
That's what I've heard.
No, it's not. What are you talking? No, it's not like that. It's
Copyright.
Just
No. For YouTube, no?
No, it just gives you a warning, and if you basically have to either edit it or get rid of it. But like ours is, I don't know. Like there's so many little things because a lot of people are streaming the thing live, so I don't know how they're doing that, right? Like it's the same damn stuff. So I don't know. It's weird.
Well, the majority of stuff I've seen of people covering it was just their faces, and they weren't even looking at the stuff.
Oh, I've seen some.
You're right, right.
People, yeah,
like Grace Randolph and them, they show the whole. They're looking at the whole clips. Anyways.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's weird. Like, yeah, people have been showing it all day. Like, you're gonna go on YouTube and like it would be more of a reaction video, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and what we're doing here is we have our screen there, and it's really small, and I don't even have the audio on, so I don't know how that even works. But whatever. Like,
all right.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
All right.
We'll see.
At least you're getting noticed.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube's looking at us going like, what?
Yeah, we're like the bots guys.
Yeah, YouTube bots.
Only the bots care about us.
Anyways. Yeah. Right. Some great information. Again, Zack Snyder came out, kind of thanked everybody. He had the two people who kind of started the release the Snyder Cut movement on there to talk about it, which was kind of cool to recognize that.
So was it you guys? Were you guys there? Because I think that's the only.
We got a little credit there. They rolled a little credit sheet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I think the big news is that it will be a four-part series, an hour each, kind of going. He's working on making it one full thing.
So back-to-back episodes, I'm sure they're not going to like release 1 hour and then wait and then release another hour next week.
It'll be a week.
I would imagine that's what's probably going to be like, kind of like Titans and all those other shows is, you don't want to put it all out in one day. You want people to come back, right? So here's the first part this week, next week, same time, second part.
So it's like an episode of a show. Like it'd be
make it an event.
I would think it's like
I would do it like that, right? Like a Saturday or Sunday night, like sort of like HBO. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Just put out 1 hour episodes. It'll be just 4 hours long, 1 hour episodes. So yeah, I'm down. And then, like I said, he said he's working on making it one whole thing, which will be awesome. And also they're working on the distribution rights for across the world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
dude.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Dude, it looks awesome, dude.
Okay. I'm watching it with my brothers after this, but I can't wait, man.
It is pretty much. It's weird because you've kind of seen it, but everything feels different. So in a weird way, it feels like a new movie. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the same movie, but you're like, oh, okay, cool. It's when you look at like New Mutants and all these other things,
like alternate universe movie version of
I've
Justice
seen this
League,
trailer
right?
100 times. You're like, oh my god, they showed new footage. It looks totally different. I like more character base, like Iris West. We've seen it before in the first trailers where he touches the glass to kind of save her. So we've seen a lot of that stuff, which is bringing it back, which again is going to be awesome because it's going to build on to the characters.
A more serious take of the character. Let's point that out too.
Yeah,
like like Ezra in all the clips they showed does not look like Ezra from Justice League, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
His mannerisms is like, I don't know. He's just not as goofy.
Good. Yeah, because that was one of the things that bothered me.
It might please some people, it might bother people. I don't know.
That's the thing that bothered me in the Justice League movies. He was just too weird, like awkward,
Mm.
So I like if he was a little bit more serious. But...
And Cyborg looks like he has like impactful scenes. Like he's an important part of the character of this movie, which was not the case in Justice League. Originally.
Yeah, and again, I mean, there was a scene you'll see as when again we've seen that, and I really like that scene because it really brings Clark and Superman and everything back. Is in the original one, you see him in the field and Lois comes running out. In this, it's Lois and his mom kind of hugging him, which kind of brings him back. Which I'm like, those are the most important people in Superman's life, right? Like it seems so more emotional.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Which, again, we've always said with this Snyder version is it's not like, hey, I'm Superman, I'll just do it. It's a journey of why he's choosing to do it. And again, I like that they constantly show. And again, if you listen to Bruce Wayne, is what we all kind of think in a weird way is this guy has the power to control us all. Why would he choose not to? Do you know what I mean? I love that it's a constant showing this is why he chooses not to. Again, it's his. I just thought that was the most awesome. The best part of that the trailer was that scene of, again, and I like that scene still when it's Lois, but now that it's his mom and Lois, I'm like, yeah, again, he's showing, yes, you're
His
a god.
humanity, yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing, and what you need Superman to have, and do you know what I mean? It's if he doesn't have that, it's what changes him from what we see in the Suicide Squad game, where he just hovers above everybody. He's like, I know he's controlled by Brainiac, obviously, from the Suicide Squad game.
What about so what about like any mention of Man of Steel 2 at all or anything like that? Because
No,
like,
nothing. There'd be nothing. There's no.
Because I mean, Cavill is still very much in Superman, right? Like he's not. They didn't get rid of him. Like he's still
and he was on the panel and he asked questions he answered. No, he asked Zach fan questions. So all of them did. Ben Affleck did, Henry Cavill did, and stuff like that. And and again, and you have The Rock talking about him, like, hey, I'd like to deal with him and stuff like that, right? So I think he's very much still there. I
think he's in play.
They mentioned that he's they mentioned that he's in like a bunch of other. He's not going to have his own movie, but he's going to be like the Hulk, where he'll be in a bunch of different movies. I'm down with that because I mean I love that guy's Superman. Like no matter what, I shit on Man of Steel, but even then I did like it. Like it's not like I hated the damn movie. And his Superman is one of my favorites. Like fuck Dean Cain. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, like he is one of my favorite Superman. So I want to see.
And and again, I'm sure through history of our podcasting, we gave talk. I like Man of Steel. It's my favorite Superman, and I like that it's a journey. It's not just, hey, he's here. Oh, and he's gonna, he doesn't want to kill you all. I love that it's a journey of him. Even when you go to Man of Steel, like the asshole pouring the beer and stuff like that. At any given time, he can, as Ben Affleck and Bruce Wayne said, this guy can rule us all at any given time. But what I love, it's a constant battle of seeing the worst of humanity, but him constantly wanting the
choosing
best.
to be good. Yeah, choosing to be.
I just love the the messaging behind it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where, again, and when you've read Superman, Earth One, shoot, I forget what that's called.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Earth One or Year One. Year One, Earth One. Yeah, Earth One.
Yeah, I forget. But it's the same thing. It shows that he could be anything he wants. He could be the
athlete.
He could be the best athlete in the world, make money. He could be the best doctor in the world, he can do all these different things. But he chooses to take and again, in the book, in the world, you take the loneliest job, the lowest job, which is a reporter. It doesn't pay well. You're constantly on deadlines and kind of finds humanity through that. I just like that take of him where he's the biggest powerful person ever, and you see that how he's coming to these choices, which is really cool.
They also focus on Darkseid and they focus on Steppenwolf for a little bit. Like you see their new designs implemented. I'll say this much: I feel like it's a little rough around the corners.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that has to do with like they're not done.
I wonder why they chose to show it. Like I'm skimming through. I'm not watching it, but I'm skimming through the video and I'm pausing it.
You want to get just freeze it every second so there's no stress. Yeah.
But like, why is it that they showed it in like a original TV box, like instead of a widescreen sort of presentation?
Yeah, right? I'm reading that apparently the ratio is going to be that ratio.
So ideally, and he talked about it too. Ideally, he tried to film it all on IMAX.
Oh, so it's an IMAX sort of.
So yeah, okay. I think it's an IMAX because he had boxes and he drew it like on one of the purported things. He drew the box of what he filmed and then the box that gets shown in and stuff like that. So I think what you have on the screen right now is more of kind of him just showing. Do you know what I mean? Like this is. I filmed more like get shown and stuff like that, right?
I see.
So, but you could. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna do. I guess what he's gonna do is when he puts it all together, he'll do more of a widescreen film format for that one movie, right? But for the show, it'll be like this.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I really don't know. I prefer, as long as it covers the whole screen, but it's a weird format. So much reminds me of Lighthouse. You know what I mean? When we saw
Yeah.
Like an old school, like
Yeah.
Well, this is like if you had your
Weird.
CRT, like your old CRT TV, you could just watch it on that and it'd be fine,
Perfect.
right?
All right, who's gonna hook it up? That's gonna be the way we watch it.
What a 13-inch
But,
little tiny fucking no.
Yeah. No, so I feel it's like I'm hoping it's early and they're not finished with the effects. If not, then maybe it has to do with the fact that, hey, at the end of the day, it is an HBO show, and maybe like, I don't know. But it seems like they had a lot of money, a big budget. So I'm hoping it looks a little bit better because it does look a little weird.
But and again, he very much talked on how everyone's kind of in a loner aspect. Like Aquaman's giving up everything; he drops everything in front of Mira. Cyborg. They show Cyborg's dad, Victor, sacrificing himself and stuff like that. So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I mean,
I just hope we don't have goofy Batman. That's all I want to.
Yeah, I mean, and even then, like, you have at the end of the trailer, you'll see, Batman giving this great speech. Like, who is it? Is it Wonder Woman or someone says like he's fought Flash said, like, he's been to hell. He's fought all this. He's fought all that. Like, he's fought everything. How are we going to beat him? And Bruce gives that, well, he's never fought against us united. And I'm like, oh, my God, that's the tagline that was everywhere forever. Like, I even have the shirt that says Justice League Unite.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, man, that's such a rallying cry. Like, I love that. Like, you know what I mean?
It's awesome, dude. It looks
Yeah.
And you think about it, just put it into perspective, is that we saw a 2-hour movie, but I'm guessing, let's say, I'm being generous. Let's say they keep an hour and 30 minutes of that film, right?
Yeah,
roughly.
yeah.
That's okay. We're gonna see 2.5 hours extra. How crazy is that?
And that's like every movie, right? Like every movie you film and you tell this magnificent story, and then you're told, okay, cut it all apart, right? Which I think that's why we've enjoyed a little bit of these, Netflix shows, because you are with a lot of how the Netflix shows go, especially kind of the Marvel ones, they are like 10-hour movies, right? Like they finish right off. Sure, they probably have to fill a little bit more filler, but that makes sense. A Justice League thing should be ideally kind of like a Netflix show where it is like 5 and 6 hours to really tell the story of this group coming together, right? And again, you give it like a Marvel thing. Yeah, we had the Avengers, but there's like 200 hours of film before the Avengers, which is all the Avengers. So it's almost like one gigantic movie, right? So by all means, and we originally knew that Justice League was supposed to be a two-part movie. So, you go 2 hours there, 2 hours there, that's 4 hours. So you can see where this is his kind of, his 2-hour movie, 4 hours total. And that's kind of what it should be. I think 4 hours to tell a Justice League story almost is minimum of what you would need to tell, right? Like,
oh yeah, I've said it before. Like, Justice League is huge. It's not like you're not talking about just like a random superhero group. Like, this is like a big thing. And you can't just make it like a 2-hour movie done by some guy who was just added on last minute. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it just it's more than
Whedon. Just call him by his name. Whedon.
I'm just saying, like, it's true. Like, if you're gonna come out with this movie, why did WB step in and be like, nah, get this guy? Like, I think finishing his vision would have been would have been the right thing to do, and this is what we're getting now, which is awesome. So I'm super excited. Yeah,
happy.
I'm the same. I'm super excited that he gets to. And again, there's people who don't, people who do. I've enjoyed Man of Steel. I like the director's cut of Batman versus Superman. And that, even as we're talking about that, I guarantee you there's probably more to Batman versus Superman than even just that was there to really tell a good story, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of you flow into Justice League. So again, there has been a nice build-up. 4 hours for this. Yeah, sure, it's an hour a week or whatever, but if they're working on a full 4-hour version, I'm down. I'll stick with. I have no problem with putting probably in a 4-hour movie, just sitting there and watching it. That's totally cool with me. So.
Yep. No, same here.
Or 3 hours and 58 minutes taking.
Dude, we sat through freaking Lord of the Rings, 4 hours, and I wasn't even that invested in Lord of the Rings, to be honest. Like I was like,
well,
right,
even
cool.
if I remember, like, we sat through Fellowship, and even when Fellowship was ending, I'm like, what? You're fucking ending this? Like, start it now. They're about to go on the journey.
Yeah.
Like, I was ready for I was like, when they, hype up and they're walking away, I'm like, what? You're ending this? I'm still in my seat wanting to see more. Like, don't end it. But if you have a good movie, man, the movie could go on forever. And if it's good, you'll stay. Again, like and here's the thing, how many people just sit and binge everything?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
10 hours and watch the exact same thing just going. So, and again, there's a little online like, 4 hours. And like, 4 hours is nothing. Like, we're in a day and age of people will, like I said, I'll just repeat it, sit and binge things. And again, you don't have to sit, you can move around and keep it on, but we're in the age of people will watch the exact same show for 10 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours, or whatever. That's normal now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have no problem. I mean, I'm fine with it. Totally fine. I like it.
I mean, that's why I was asking if we're gonna release it all at once or it's gonna be once every week. So
I would imagine if it's 4 parts, you want people in for HBO Max. So your first one's gonna be kind of really awesome, and then people will be excited. Oh, you got to get HBO Max to watch this, right? Like you want to build something. And again, and I think with the way the DC streaming app worked was every week was a new episode, right? Titans, new episode every week. Harley, new episode every week. The DC app never dropped everything all at once like Netflix. Do you know what I mean? They dropped it.
The competition right across. Disney does the same thing.
Yeah, and I liked it, and I do like that better. I mean, that was always the thing why we binge, because when something like the Umbrella Academy drops, you feel the need, you have to watch it on the weekend, because as soon as you go online, somebody else has watched already, and they want to be the first one to spoil it. So in a weird way,
I think it's more like if you watch one, you can't stop. Like you'll watch one and it goes on to the next one, and you're kind of just like, what happens next, and you don't have that stopping point where they say, okay, wait, Yeah,
and you can be like, oh, what happens next? Oh, hang on, I can find out.
Exactly.
It also keeps it in the conversation longer. So and people will be talking for about a month. They'll be talking about
exactly.
Justice League.
And you take a look the same as Disney with Mandalorian. Say Mandalorian was dropped all at once, or the way they did it weekly, and people were waiting, for it to drop to discuss it, right? Like, that's kind of the nice part where, as Gabe said, you make it longer in the conversation. Oh, okay, it drops on Thursday. Everybody's hyped all the weekend. Sure, it kind of drops off on Monday. Guess what? Thursday comes around, back up. Whoa, that episode was amazing, right? So, yes, the binging is fun, but I do still enjoy weekly, my weekly fix where, hey, I still can sit down. I mean, I know Mandalorian was like 30-minute episodes, but still sit down for 40 minutes. Okay, got it. Have the excitement with the work people and talk about it. But that's it. Or it's not like, oh, I didn't see it. Oh, I don't have time to watch the whole thing. Everyone, like when Mandalorian was dropping, was watching it like almost in, because they knew, oh, I can go in, I can watch 40 minutes and then I'm done. I have time for that. And then everyone can talk about it the next day at work, because it wasn't, oh, I haven't got, or, when you're trying to talk about shows like Umbrella Academy, oh, I haven't finished episode 2. You're like, okay, so I'm not talking because you haven't got there. You know what I mean? I'm at episode 5, but you're thinking, you're telling something that happened. Like I did that. I was talking about something that happened in, I think, episode 8. Like, what? I don't remember that. I'm like, you're at episode 5, right? But I couldn't remember where I was. I thought they were with me, so I ruined something for that person. So it becomes, you know what I mean?
You're on the same page. Everyone is on the same page when it's controlled like that. I get it. Like,
it's easier. You're not forced, and then you're like, I don't want to watch this. You know what I mean? Or I like the Mandalorian, the Titans. How Harley, everything drops once a week. I'm down with that. I like it.
I agree with you, because when I saw Umbrella Academy, I love Umbrella Academy season 2 too. Like I binged that whole thing in one go. But then at the end of it, you're like, okay, well, that's it.
Yeah,
you're done. I'm done for like the weekend. I don't have anything to look forward to next week or the week after. But at least with that, you have something to look forward to, and you can kind of like pace yourself and all that. That's it's a lot better, I think.
Same thing. I agree. Yeah, I like that. But that hasn't been announced. I would just hope that
Yeah, yeah.
it is something like that. It makes sense. Like, again, and if HBO Max is running it and the way they did it on DC Online, I would say it's probably going to be week. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's a shame about DC Online, man. That was actually pretty cool. I mean,
Well,
they haven't shut it down yet, though.
No, not officially, but I think like all the content's moved to HBO Max.
That's what I noticed. Yeah, it's all the same
and
shit.
And again, they never released it internationally. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, I mean, at least Disney Plus went, hey, everybody's getting it. The only thing is England, it's going to take you guys like 4 months before you dropped. I think Mandalorian ended season 1 and then Britain finally got Disney Plus. So they almost had to start like but you know what I mean? Like spoilers were around for them. But yeah, I like why DC Universe didn't go Universal. I have no clue. Like, I don't know why. No one ever said why. I mean, makes no sense. If there was money, they left so much money on the table by not pushing it. I mean, yeah, they leased shows out to Titans, but again, these shows were coming on for us in Canada on our platforms like months after the last episode finally showed, and we were trying to find downloads of it, right? Like, because I'm like, you're on the internet. The internet's not like, oh, will you only see people who speak in Canada? You know what I mean? You're the internet's worldwide. So people who've gotten to see it, you kind of wanted to find those streams or downloads of it, so you're not left out of the loop or the surprises aren't happening, right? Yeah. I think they just dropped the ball on why they didn't release it, especially when all of their content was filmed here.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like, we get it like a month or like a year after, and it was filmed like right next door. Like,
it's weird why they never.
True fans found a way to watch it.
Hey, we all.
Oh yeah.
We watched it. Like I said, I'm not. I mean, here's my thing. Is crazy. I feel bad that I watched it and I didn't get to give DC my money. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not my fault. It's technically their fault. I blame you, but simply, for HBO Max, that will be like, for us in Canada, Crave is kind of our HBO Max partner. So we have already Crave online. So that will drop for us. Ours will drop on Crave. We'll be fine and stuff like that. So. If we have a subscription to Crave, which we don't do.
Well, no, aren't they bringing HBO Max to Canada as well?
No, not for the time being.
Not the streaming service aspect of it, but the content of shows will be on Crave. So if they create any new shows, it'll be on Crave.
Gotcha.
So the Snyder Cut will be on our Crave. Because
or you download it, like you said,
Yeah, like all the shows, HBO Max shows now, like, Real Time with Bill Maher, Last Week Tonight, that's all on our Crave, right? So some of those other special shows, HBO, I know Ray Donovan was Showtime, I think, right? Yeah, but again, Watchmen was HBO, right?
Yeah.
Yes, HBO.
That was on Crave. Like, you would stream it on Crave, right? So we'll have that. And
all right, as long as Canada has an option, right?
We have an outlet.
Yeah. You can also get a VPN technically and get it on the VPN.
And like Gabe said, believe me, fans, they'll find a way. They know how. Yeah. But again, it's more getting it. I guess you want other people to see it, right? Fans will always see it, no matter what. We will go and we want to see it because it's just more content. It's fun, but yeah.
I just froze it on a picture of Ben Affleck looking super confused in the trailer, but yeah.
No, that's good. I like that one.
That's pretty good.
He's kind of like, what? It'd be awesome if he was facing the other way, though.
Yeah. He's looking at us. Yeah, he's like, oh. Hey, we didn't talk about The Flash.
The movie?
Yeah, the movie with the Batmans and all that.
Yeah, we
talked about The Flash. Yeah, Gabe has it there behind him. So, again, Flashpoint is the movie. The only thing we know is, again, not a little bit. Ideally, like I said, Batman created Flash's new suit, and they're just talking about him.
Looks great. Looks
better.
Yeah. Just talked about the multiverse and him kind of bringing it all together and stuff like that. So
the director from It, is
Yes,
the one that's directing it.
Oh
The
yeah. All
the
right.
the girl, the woman that wrote Bumblebee and Birds of Prey is the writer. It looks good, man. There another movie where you felt like the people that are behind the project kind of like are in love with the characters and kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting a good vibe from it. Like, you know,
That
like I
that
can't wait.
that picture right
Can't
there
wait.
that you have is like that sold me already with '89
Yeah, dude.
Batman. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, you know, Keaton can still do it.
Yeah, anybody once you put on that suit, anybody can look
Oh yeah, he
can
still
pull
looks,
it off, you know.
But I just wonder. I'm just curious how they're gonna put it all together. And 'cause I heard like a lot of multiverse stuff is gonna happen in this movie, and
But Beauty, I feel is like they're gonna go with an original tale. Which I'm kind of hoping, like, because I think they're not, you know, we've all seen it. Flashpoint's huge and massive, but I just don't think they can do that kind of scale.
yeah,
But I think they're gonna do a more personal story where like the two Batmen are play a big role in it.
the two. So which one? Just Affleck and
Affleck and this one.
there's
Well,
no
that we
other
know of.
Batman, you think?
Not that we know of. At least they're not sharing that with us. But I hope it doesn't get like ridiculous where they have like too many. You know.
I want to
Because
see
it's a comedy.
Thomas. I want to see Thomas Wayne, dude. I want to see Thomas Wayne.
that's my big thought too. Is who would, I mean, again, if you're following the Flashpoint storyline, is who is going to play Thomas Wayne? That's
Well,
what
it's Negan, the guy who played him in Justice League.
Jeffrey Dean
No.
Morgan? Like that's
Well,
confirmed.
not Justice League.
No.
It would be him though. I would imagine if they were going to get it.
We want him. We would want it to be him.
Yeah.
That would. Sorry.
Yeah, but I read that he was approached and negotiations never happened earlier this year. That's what I've been reading.
Because
So
I heard
he had a chance
was
to be in
okay
it.
to do. He wanted to, but I
he
guess
wanted to, but
he
it guess it probably came down to money. I'm guessing.
It always comes down to money.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no.
sure.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know when that's gonna film, but I'm guessing it's gonna start filming in about a year and a half. But it looks like, based on the director, it looks like this one's gonna happen. I don't think this is gonna go the way of the Dodo like the other ones.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think all the hype that's surrounding it right now, especially with Keaton joining and stuff. I think people are
Yeah, but that again, like I'm still waiting. Isn't there a Gambit movie that's supposed to come out?
yeah, I think that was
but
done.
That doesn't compare. Like
Yeah,
Gambit,
no way.
what did they show on Gambit?
Yeah, nobody cares about Gambit. Like,
Photoshop.
yeah, no, I don't even think they had a Photoshop.
Who
Gambit.
who walked on stage at San Diego?
Channing Tatum.
Channing
Tatum.
Tatum.
That's who it was. Yeah, he was Gambit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was like,
yeah.
"Hey,
Yeah, but
I'm gonna
he-
be Gambit, guys," and
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
disappeared. Like he's like, hey, "Bye." Like,
Like, and also the whole thing of like, you know, Ben Affleck coming back and like, I think it's just too much is happening for them to just like for it to fall apart. It doesn't make sense.
yeah, especially with Affleck coming back, and then they signed Keaton, and he's gonna be in it, and there's all this buzz around it. Like it's not exactly like, "Hey, Channing Tatum, can you do a Creole accent?" And he's like, "Oh shit, I can't. We're done the movie. No more, thanks." You know, like.
Yeah. Plus a director that's a fan of the Flash. That's cute. That's huge.
Yeah. Again, I just have
Don't leave your negativity.
all right.
All right, Mister.
It's not happening.
It's all DC. It's fandom tonight, baby.
I've been full of.
We just need yes men today. Yes
all
men.
day. So if I'm gonna take anything negative, I'll just take it from. Like I said, my only is I mean, I felt listening to them talk. It felt a lot more solid than before. I'm like, okay, there's a little bit here. I get what's going on, but again, it still needs to come together, right?
So
Like,
Glenn, I am actually curious. What did you find negative about this whole DC fandom? What are the things that you didn't like or could have done better? Basically,
again, it's tough because I don't know what the 100+ hours holds. I would have loved, obviously, throwing the Green Lantern, any kind of the Green Lantern Corps movie news. That would have been fun, but again, we also got Black Adam and all these other movies, right? So do you put all your eggs in one basket, or do you hold off?
So you think they're going to be more movie news in September?
Well, we know that they wanted to work there. There's plans for a Green Lantern type movie and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd like to see that. Like, I think Green Lantern's a huge DC property. And like I said, I always kind of felt, as crazy as it is, I always felt James Gunn would be an awesome Green Lantern. kind of director based on Guardians. I mean, I know he's doing the obviously the Suicide Squad, which is still going to be really cool. Yeah, but no, I wouldn't say I didn't have any. I didn't have any negative kind of things. Yeah, there's like slow parts in it, which is fine, but nothing. I was like, oh, this is garbage. Maybe, and again, nothing negative. I'm not trying to say anything negative, but the only thing I was like, what is this going on? Like the Wonder Woman 1984, they had this weird game thing.
Yeah, I saw that. That was.
What is this? I was, and again,
the trivia stuff was like killing me. I was like, what is going on with this trivia stuff?
And again, I'm not trying to be, it's because I'm fine. Like, I've been asked, what is it? I was like, they could have done without that. Like, I was like, this seems like, yeah, you guys had fun, but I didn't even get what they were doing. Like, a screen goes black. Okay, want to use the bad guy, pick who it is. I'm like, why does it take you so long?
Yeah. Okay, I saw that.
You go on to the next one. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's like Chris Pine looked like he didn't even want to be there. He was like eating, and he was like, okay.
Pedro, right? Like, Pedro was out first, and he's like,
yeah. He was just like, okay. Yeah.
I think half of those guys didn't want to be a part of that, like what was going on. But
and they were trying to be all energetic and shit too, which is kind of
I liked it. Like I said, it was a lot of it was like crazy overload. You're like, there's so much today, which is fun. Like that's kind of, again, it, when you take a San Diego Comic-Con, like you get it's like, hey, here's Marvel stuff, DC stuff. Here's a little, I don't know, like a Transformer news. This was all kind of this was all news from kind
one
of
place, yeah.
One, like the wheelhouse, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're like, okay, that's awesome. Maybe the little disappointment was that the Batman game's not coming out to 2021. They couldn't give a concrete date on that. Like,
which is weird that game, which is still running off of current systems, is coming out in 2021 when a lot of the games are going to start moving over to the new, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's and again, and you're thinking, okay, even if like 2021, okay, so it's not coming out this fall, which we kind of thought maybe it was, but
maybe early 2021.
But they didn't even say early. Yeah. Early.
I feel like it's like a February, March, April.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing. You're like, why couldn't you lock down a date on that for us? Like, not again. Maybe there is a date, but they're like, oh, you got to wait till Xbox announces its date. I don't know. Probably not, because it's two different dates. But it was just, it was really kind of, I get a little disappointed that there was no date on that movie. Suicide Squad, again, I said in the chat, 2022 is when this game's coming out, and that's what they did say, game release 2022. That's about it. Nothing, again, lots of fun reveals, lots of cool things. There's little segments of Jim Lee drawing or critiquing other people's art, which was really kind of cool. I like that. A lot of Jim Lee. This could have been called the Jim Lee Happy Stream Hour.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of his art was all over the place. Eh?
Like the Jim Lee coming out party for like don't know who Jim Lee is because
the coming out party is Jim Lee.
It was just Jim Lee everywhere, which is cool. But he was on like, hey, we're gonna bring out Jim Lee to talk. Hey, here's Jim Lee, and you're like, okay, makes sense. Like I get it.
They fired everybody else, so
sure. He's the only one. Yeah,
so too, right? Like, hey, we only have you left. Oh, okay. No, it was good. It was fun.
Gabe?
Had a the only negative, honestly, I think they made a big deal of this actual virtual world, but I thought it looked crummy. Not to be an ass, I think it looked terrible. Like it looked like someone went in there for one day at Studio Max. Like I don't know how to apply textures, so I guess I'll just put a JPEG of like comic book art on top of it, and then you got these little guys coming in, they're zooming in. It's like we didn't have to do all that. Like
that part with Aisha Tyler and Matt Reeves, and it zoomed into them, and they look like they're supposed to be talking to each other, but she looked like she was looking off screen, like confused, and he was looking at her, going like, "Oh, I just came from my time machine," and like it looked weird, dude. Yeah, but
at that point I'm being picky. Like,
takeaway? Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just like Who, at the end of the day, it's the content that really impressed me, like beyond what I was expecting. So I'm happy.
Yeah,
cool. Like I think my only negative is that it wasn't Marvel. Woo! No, I'm joking. No, it was good.
I would say the only thing that really surprised me is that when Jim Lee draws Earth, he uses a plate. I was like, what?
It's like, Really?
Which-
Yeah, you couldn't do
So
it?
yeah, there's a part where he's just drawing stuff, and he just takes this little side plate, draws the circle, puts it back on the side, and then starts drawing in the circle. I'm like, yo, you be cheating like
Yeah,
that?
no,
You
it's
can't
okay.
draw a
Jim
circle
Lee,
free?
you've been doing this for years, and you need a plate. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
it was just that was the only thing because I was like, man, this guy needs a plate to draw a circle. That's impressive. That's
Let him be, man. The man's like 55. Let him be, man.
Yeah, it'd be
No,
worse if
no,
it'd be
no,
worse
it
if
was-
he took out a
it's
picture.
just funny because when you look at like the amazing things he can draw, and he still just put that plate upside down, drew his circle, and then put the plate to the
Hey,
side.
Hey,
It
at
was
least he
just
didn't.
like-
At least he didn't take out a fucking photo and start tracing over it. Like, in
Oh,
front of-
can you
everyone's like,
imagine?
"What the hell?" He's like, "No. This is right. This is fine." Like, no.
But no, I mean, even some of the things I really like again, I know you're an artist, so you probably know more of this than I do. Like when he was looking at some of the work and how he changed the lighting, like, okay, well, where would your light come from? Does your light come from here? Okay, let's try to do this. I was like, oh man, I never, I guess when you read comics, you never think, hey, they're trying every picture, they need to figure out where light's coming from.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a weird thing that
and it has to make sense consecutively, like every page, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and then-
so
it was a really, I think his name was Muhammad, and he was breaking down his art, and I just loved that every picture he was like, okay, does your light source come from here, from here, from here? If you do it from here, I was like, oh man, this is really kind of cool. Like I never really thought about something like that. So I like that aspect. Hopefully in September we see more of that kind of stuff. I would imagine September will be more into the comic world and stuff like that, more stuff. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool.
All right, well, I think that's a pretty good panel we got here, man. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a fun day. It's a fun day.
Yeah, it was a good day. Too bad it's done, right?
till September.
Till September, yeah, that's right. Any Xbox news? Anything going on with games? No. Fuck. Like no price yet, eh? No price. I don't want to pre-order this stuff. Nah.
No.
PlayStation? Nah. Forget
Nah,
it.
not yet.
Well, I think we could end it now. Are you guys gonna be playing a little game or two tonight?
Sure.
I'm gonna rewatch all these trailers, dude. I haven't even seen Batman.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
second
well,
time too.
quite
I'm gonna
honestly,
check it out.
I'm with Gabe. I've only seen everything once.
Me too. I haven't even seen Justice League, so I'm gonna watch that too. So
Yeah, I'm gonna, which is weird. I'm gonna go rewatch the Batman, but on.
I'm gonna see
sites that are
reaction
not-
videos, dude. Those are my favorite reaction videos of Batman. I wanna see
Oh
those.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, especially when he's again that when he's-
Apparently, I read someone posted the positive rating is ridiculous. Like it's getting a lot.
Oh
him-
yeah, come on. Of course it will, dude. Like
No, I mean
no
the
way.
ratio. You know, a lot of haters come in there and just dislike shit.
No, yeah, no.
Not
This
this
is. I don't think anyone's gonna dislike Batman. I think he's
anyone honestly
Yeah.
watching that, anyone who said, and again, me and Gabe were talking podcast before. I can't remember if you were Ernest, so I apologize. A lot of people, again, they go to the theater, they watch a movie. All they remember is Patterson from Twilight. Nobody watches. I think I shouldn't say nobody. Very few people will watch indie films like Lighthouse, like things he's been in. And me and Gabe said, this guy's a good actor, man. He's not
Ernest, have you seen Lighthouse?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird,
Yeah,
but it was
weird.
awesome though. Yeah,
It's
it's
awesome.
weird, but it's messed up, but it's awesome.
And again, everything's going on. You're like, okay, I get it. I like the detective, and that's what I wanted. I love this detectiveness that he's going to show. But that you throw us, the fans, a scene of him relentlessly beating the effing
Yeah,
crap out of somebody.
He's not all there, man.
yeah.
Dude, that I guarantee you, the whole entire
Anger
99%
issues, dude. Like, yeah.
The 99% ratio is just from him relentlessly beating that guy.
Oh yeah.
'Cause you're like, whoa, that's just. I guarantee you that changed everyone's thought on Patterson. Like,
Yeah.
same thing. I'm going to check what people are saying. Like, that's
Yeah.
that's like the most violent Batman and we've ever seen. Even as angry as that Fleck was, he wasn't that violent. Like, that was.
Well,
Dude,
let's take it easy for a second. 'Cause we haven't seen Patterson, throw a box at someone's head and made it explode on the wall.
Yeah,
right?
but there's a difference. Like, that was Batman being calculated, like in the game, to try to get out of a situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where there's a bunch. This Batman's surrounded by a bunch, literally beats that dude's head probably is like a fucking marshmallow in
And they're
front of
like-
his gang, and
one
they're
guy
like,
was crying.
yeah. who wants next? I'm not taking on this guy. Do you know what I mean? That was hateful vengeance punching. You know what I mean? A Fleck was calculated. I got to get out of this situation. Like those are two different battles. Like that was just, you could see, like you felt like there was no music and just punch. Like
he broke his arm too.
And he's going.
His arm,
Dude, it's insane. Like you're like, yeah, I got to go watch that now.
Yeah. All right. So you guys aren't gonna be playing games or anything right now?
No, not me.
It's freaking Saturday, dude.
If you're asking, just message.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah. I'll be on the tubes. So, all right. Thanks. Hey.
Cool. Take it easy, guys.
Right.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. And we'll talk to you. Well, how do we end this? How do we usually end this stuff? Bye. See ya.
You usually say they can't beat us when we're united. Is that how we say it?
They've never. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. All right. Take it easy, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Peace.